Breaking news just into CNN. Las Vegas police have arrested a suspect in connection with the 1996 drive-by shooting death of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. CNN's Camila Bernal joins us live right now, along with CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. So first to you, Camila, what are we learning about this arrest?
Hey, Boris. Sources telling CNN that they have arrested Dwayne Keith Davis, also known as Keffe D. He was arrested this morning, according to sources, in connection with the killing of Tupac Shakur. Now, we do know that in July, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department served a search warrant on Davis's wife's home, and what they were looking for was any evidence linking to this crime. They were looking for anything that could show motive as to the killing of Tupac Shakur. And specifically, we know that in this search warrant, police were able to obtain multiple tablets, an iPhone. They took 5 computers, USB drives, photographs. So we know that they have been looking into this case and have been investigating this case since it happened in 1996. At the moment, we do not know what Davis has been charged with. We are expecting a press conference later on today to get details from authorities. But again, this is something that happened in 1996 and police have been looking into for years now. Dwayne Keith Davis, he had described himself as one of the only witnesses to this shooting. If you recall, Tupac Shakur was in a car. They were at a boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. They were in a car, and all of a sudden there was another car that pulled next to them, and the shooting began. It's unclear exactly who shot Tupac, but again, this is a huge development in this case years later, as we now know that there is someone arrested in connection to this case, Boris.
Joey, to you, it's been nearly 3 decades since Tupac was shot and killed. This is a surprising development, to say the least. What's your reaction?
Yeah, so Boris, significant and surprising development without question. But I think that what we have to understand is in murder cases, there is no statute of limitations. It's quite common that you have law enforcement throughout this country that continue to operate in a cold case capacity, continue to follow leads, and decades later, sometimes they come to a conclusion. Obviously, in any arrest here, right, anyone's presumed innocent till proven guilty, but police have been working this case. And in fact, they are giving the indication that is police that potentially this person was quite involved. Now, remember, right, in the event that there's a pull-up shooting, and indications are it happened from the back seat of that white Cadillac 27 years ago in September. But, you know, in the event that you aided, abetted, assisted, or acted in concert, you need not even be the person who pulled the trigger. There are some indications from the person that they have in custody now that it was his nephew who was in the back seat. Again, all allegations. His nephew, of course, who is now dead. But his nephew denied that he was involved at all. And of course, the giving up of his nephew, the person in custody now, is in connection with another case where he was questioned. There's certainly reports from his own book that he was present, that he was there, that he was in that vehicle. Now, mere presence, to be clear, is never enough. You have to establish that you had knowledge of it, were in on it, and acted in accord with whatever was occurring. And so certainly now, after all of this time, yes, there are challenges, Boris, in moving forward, but you have to believe that based on the search warrant they conducted in July of the suspect's wife's home, based upon the information they gathered, based upon street intelligence and other information, that they have probable cause to believe that he's involved, and we'll see how the prosecution moves forward after today.
Joey, to me, just the fact that this was a cold case for so long is significant, because this was a very public shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. You imagine there were many witnesses there, and it came after a fight, right, at the MGM Grand that was caught on security camera, in which there was always suspicion that some of the folks that were involved in that fight may have been involved in Tupac's shooting. Talk to us about the challenges of looking into a case like this with nearly 30 years of cold evidence.
Yeah, Boris, it's a great question. Certainly, you want to have arrests that are closer in time to when an incident occurred for a variety of reasons, right? The nature of the evidence presented, the memories of the witnesses, the value, whether people's memories have gone stale or gone cold. But you don't now know, right? The reality is that if you're investigating a case for long standing, presumably police have done a very diligent job, have information just not based on the arrest today, but of information that they've gleaned over the course of a number of years in connecting the dots. They have information that this particular suspect, verbal statements he's given, memoirs of his own that have been out there. We don't know, Boris, who police have spoken to in the course, right, of getting to today, how they have connected this person here, how other information may have been preserved that police have. Remember, we have the public reports, but we don't know the in-depth information that police have gleaned. So yes, in any prosecution, even if you got a murder that occurred yesterday, there are challenges. However, in the country are pretty good at putting together cold cases, and there have been significant amount of convictions predicated upon cases that are decades old. We'll see what the nature of the evidence is here, or at least get a look into that when there's a press conference held that announces more with respect to what that evidence could be.
Yeah, we're going to be watching that press conference very closely. Again, if you're just joining us, major breaking news in the murder of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. There has been an arrest in Las Vegas in that case. Joey Jackson, Camila Bernal, thank you so much for that.